Cool, cool. Yikes. I am working in Mythographic Aviary, one of my favorite books. And I'm using grisaille pencils. I wonder if I can get this to go down more. Always fiddling around with my picture, trying to make it perfect, that sort of thing. Oh, I can't move that. All right. Hey, Dawn. Can you hear me all right? I think that will take the echo off. Oh, awesome. I'm starting a little bit early today because I've got to take my mother to the doctor. I need to leave here about 10:15ish. And so I wanted to give more than just 30 minutes or so to the live stream. All right, this is, I think I said that, Aviary, one of my favorite books. I had two cards. Oh, here they are. I picked out two cards. My husband helped me pick. I had 3 sets, and he thought this was the better. Maybe. 2 cards from the color cube. And what I ended up doing was not using this brown. Without the color companion, it's kind of hard to choose colors that match, especially with the grisaille just being 75. But I was trying to stick with one color set. But I've got this grand idea, Dawn, and you can tell me if you think I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. But you can say that I'm crazy. I give you permission. And whoever else is listening. I had this crazy idea of sorting all my pencils into one giant thing. And I told my husband, I asked my husband sometime, he said, no, don't do it. That's too much. And then I thought, well, I could do it on paper only instead of physically. Just use these kind of swatch cards. And I've got everything on a swatch card. And I've got most everything compared to Prismacolor. But I've got everything on a swatch card, so I could just compare those. I think it helps. It feeds my OCD, but it also... Sorry, that was the puppy getting a bite from sister saying, "Stop playing with me right now." It would also help me in cases like this where I want to use certain cards and I can just go to like all the purpley looking ones and see which one matches. To me, it would be helpful. I mean, it would be a massive undertaking. I can't even guess how long it would take me, but anyway, that's something I thought about. So as I'm going through these cards and picking out colors, and starting to use the colors, I get to the point where these two aren't that great. I don't know where I would put them. I decided to make the birds turquoise with a little bit of purple and such because there are actual birds that are like that. But also I wanted to use these colors for the plants. And that even took some time. I mean, I did a lot of erasing and writing and erasing and writing. Hey, Ambient, thanks for coming in. I know I'm early today. Mainly because I need to take my mother to the doctor, to a doctor's appointment. And I didn't realize until last night, oh, I've got a live stream tomorrow. I got to have it early. Anyway, I was just telling Dawn and whoever else is listening that I was trying to figure out exactly what pencils to use. And if you're just using a small set, it's kind of hard to find pencils that will match the color card. Some of them. I mean, there's 500, so there's probably some that definitely you can find a match for. A lot of these grayed out kind of colors. There's another one like, well, that it's not actually gray lavender, but some of the gray or dusty, cloudy looking colors, it's kind of hard to find. Anyhow, so I pulled out the colors that I wanted to use that matched the cards, and I started to use them, and I thought, no, this isn't working. I need to take one of the colors out of the plant and just kind of use two colors. And I use these two primarily. What else? And actually I did throw in some of that, and I threw in some of that, and some of this. So you can see I'm using several colors here. Like this one is really does look like hot pink. And the raspberry, I think I said look like this mulberry color. Call it mulberry. And in the pomegranate, they're very close. One has got a little more of this color in it. So I kind of used a combination of pencils for the flowers. I actually did use a little bit of purple in there, but there's so little of it you can't really tell. And then I came back with some black, just to darken in more shadows. And if you can, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got some sparkly stuff on there. Let me zoom out, or zoom in. I may lower I may lower this in a little bit so you can get closer. All right, tell me if that's too fuzzy. That kind of looks too fuzzy to me. Maybe it's okay. I kind of toy with turning on the see, that looks clear to me. Hey, Shannon. Oh, please tell me what you've been doing. Actually, I got up about 7 myself. 7 my time. All right, Shannon, I just turned the focus back on. Now I'm going to turn it off. See, to me that looks fuzzy. When I turn it on, it looks less fuzzy. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Yana. Anyway, I was just kind of telling my process of coloring. When I picked the colors that I wanted, the pencils, these are the Grizzeyes, I started to use them and then realized, well, that color doesn't really work the way I'm using it. And so I took it out and picked maybe a darker color so there would be more contrast. The first time I colored this, it was so just, there was no depth to it at all. Turn it on and then focus and then turn it off. Okay. All right, well, it's on. All right. I suppose I could lower, let's see if I can lower this boom a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna make you dizzy. I'm sorry. Woo. All right, I kind of like that. Okay, now we got it. Now I'm going to turn it off. Okay, how's that? Hey, Tanya. You're learning how to blend Crayola pencils. Oh, no. Only 5 colors. Wow. Yeah, I haven't done a challenge necessarily, but I've tried to use limited palettes on things, and they come out really interesting, some of them, and sometimes really, really nice, super nice. Do it again. Okay. There's the autofocus. Maybe, you know, some people put a little animal in front of. This is not an animal. This is one of the characters from the company I worked for. All right, now let's try to turn it off. All right, now it's off. Yeah. Yeah, and see, when I turn it on, when I put the autofocus on, it's not fuzzy anymore. So I don't know. Don't know. Wait a second. Let me try something here. Oh, puppy. Yeah, I know. I feel bad about that. But it's really the only way to... Only way to fix it is in a chat. But I do apologize. Hey, Jennifer. All right, well, what I did was I turned off the auto, unchecked it, and then I played around with the little slide bar. and then turned it off, unchecked it. Anyway, it's better? Okay. Maybe that was it. I just needed to play with a little slide bar that's in the camera controls. Maybe I figured it out. Thank you. Hey, Pickle. Not Pickles. All right. I'm sorry I'm only going to be on another hour, but I've got to, I put it in the community tab somewhere that I've got to take my mom to a doctor appointment. So, and that was a sudden thing. My sister asked me Monday, do you take your mom to the appointment? Yep, sure. Anyhow, so I played around a lot with the colors and decided on what ones really work and what ones really don't work very well. Excuse me. And I don't know if you can tell, but I put sparkles on there. Those are the Stardust pins. Gosh, I need some coffee. I love coffee. And I took out the brown because it didn't really go. Maybe if it were a certain kind of picture, I'm not sure. Some of these pictures are kind of curious as to why they pull out certain colors, like this one down here. Sorry. It doesn't really, it's not really there in this part. So I could have almost used this one and been fine. But these are really plant vines, flower stems, and they're usually green. So I just took the brown out. Maybe I actually thought about putting it in the background, but it was looking really skanky, and I don't know, we're not going to do that. And then, inspired last night by Brian's wonderful use of King Art gel sticks, I pulled those out, found some colors I liked, mixed them with some white. And then I took my 3 different blending tools, stencil brush thingies, and started messing around with the back. And I just took the colors that were in there, and I wanted to be faded in the background. So that's what I was looking, that's what I was doing last night. Hey Audrey, how are you? How's Scotland this afternoon? You've been baking. What did you bake? So I've put some purple here and there. Yikes. I'm not sure this is going to be a wise thing. Well, no, I'm gonna make it much easier on myself and just redo some of this. So I'm just rubbing it on that. At first I had picked some dark colors. I didn't really like them. So I just pulled out the, let's see, I'm going to put a little bit of the purple here. I've kind of gone back and forth between the background and the foreground. Ooh! I am going to carefully, do you hear that wonderful sound? Boop. I ripped it out. Now, rip it out, I've got to put more stuff on the back to, this pad, what do you call it? Mouse pad is soft and squishy, and it would just, the pencils would go right through. Oh, no problem. Fruit scones, fruit loaf, wholemeal bread, shortbread, and a pastry case for our quiche for tea. Ah, shortbread. Here in America, we can buy what is labeled Scottish shortbread. Oh, I forgot the name of the company, or the, the company. But it, of course, has a tartan of some kind on there. I can get them in a place called Ross, or I could try to find a international store or something like that. And I really like those. Walkers, yes, that's it. It's Walkers. Is that a good Scottish shortbread? Sometimes you see things that are labeled as from another country, and these are really good. The best of the best, and then you might find out, well, they're not as good as the real thing. I'm not sure what's going on in my throat today. Quiche is my go-to for something quick. I've never been a fan of quiche, but maybe I just haven't had good ones. Okay, I'm just trying to be organized here. More organized. There's probably, it is possible to be too organized. Organized to a fault. All right, what was the next color? Probably need to redo that. Anyway, so I was trying to get lighter colors. Let me show you what I'm doing here. I might need to add some white to that because that is way too... All right. You don't know what's going to be in your way until you actually do a live stream. And those cards were in my way. All right, now I'm going to... Sorry if I missed the screen. I'm delayed a little bit, so can't tell exactly. Yeah, when you mix these, they're going to get really messed up. Or dirty, as it were. And so I just take a napkin and try to get some of that off there. See, that's good. And you don't really waste that much doing that. It doesn't take long. All right, trying to remember what color I used for this pink. Am I going to use pink? Yeah, let's use a little pink. Pinkish. I've been trying to I guess, analyze how I use a brush, how I get the pigment or whatever it is I'm using onto it. And so, I mean, I could scrape it like this, like it's a brush, or I could dab. And then the same goes for applying it. You can dab it or not dab it. Dag nabbit. I bought 2 rolls of washi tape at Hobby Lobby last week. And now they've gone missing. Oh, I see them, I think. Nope. Nope, nope. Nope and nope. Well, either they're lost in the vortex of lost things, where all pens and pencils go that you need, or something else. Anyhow, I know I switched subjects real quick. I do that. It's called being scatterbrained. I was going to put it on the edge, and they were really pretty too. And I can't tell you where in the world that I lost them. I actually tore them a little bit and used them like tape to mark my pages. These are very sticky for washi tape, and somebody said run this on something like, I don't know, something with dust on it and then use it, and that way when you get it off, it's not going to pull your paper. Yes. So I've got the smoke color, which is my purplish color. And I chose lighter versions of these colors, and I'll show you those colors in a minute, to set the background. And this might be too busy of a background for what the foreground is going to be, but nothing else was working, and I was determined. And when I went into Shannon's live stream last night and saw Brian using the King Arts, I thought, oh, maybe I could try that. And this one is pink, and then we have aqua green and the white, of course. Wow, looks like the white's, the label's rubbing off, but oh, I can tell that's white. Now the grizzeyes, on the bird, I primarily use the teal. I need to remember to look up to see the chat. Oh, the food truck, woo! Tasty treats, that sounds good. So primarily I use the teal on the bird, and I just use different pressures to make it lighter or darker. And then I put in a little purple. Actually, this started out being black. This thing is right in the middle, and it's just an eye drawer. And I had it black, and it didn't look good. So I erased another layer of the teal, and then I tried something else, and then I put some, actually I put some of, that was just the purple. I actually put some of the raspberry there. Let me put that in the screen again. Raspberry, I probably threw in a little pomegranate. And I finally, and lastly, put in some white. I do like the grizzeye white, but my go-to white is the Prismacolor white, and I've got several of those so that each set can have one, although I keep them all out here, so I don't know if I'm going somewhere. But the grizzeye white is not bad at all. I really like that one too. But I use some of that here. Finally, you know, it got to a point where it was fine. You know, it's fine. I'm not going to labor over it anymore. The flower, I used the pomegranate, the raspberry, and the hot pink, primarily those. I did use some white on that, and I used a Posca pen. Let's see if I can find that other pencil. The flower, not flowers, the leaves, I used dark green and turquoise, and I used what they call green gray, gray green, green gray. Is that it? No, that's just plain gray. Here it is. Green gray. And those are weird combos because I was trying to match these colors as closely as I could, and that seemed to do it. So that's what I used on that. And then the background, of course, I told you I used the King Arts. So I was just trying to make this picture come together with these different types of things. So. Hey, Rainbow. Where was I? I was using the pink. And I got started on that all because I saw this and I thought, man, I wish I could find those washi tapes I bought. And I got them on sale. They were $4 to begin with, but then I got a 40% off. So I'm just kind of dabbing here and there with this color. Okay, move over here, pencils. And that's how I'm doing the background, just very lightly. That's why I've got white in it. And I've got, that is not the right size of brush. I used the 3 sizes of the brushes. And the, I need some more white. Three sizes of brushes in 3 different colors so that I won't keep getting them mixed up, which I was doing before I figured it out. And I do overlap. Sometimes I brush. The blue was the yellow, or not the blue, the purple. I want to do a little bit more purple into this pink here. Sorry, I've got my hand in the way. I don't think there's a right way and a wrong way of applying this. You just do it however you want to. Let's use some of the other color. I can maybe put some here. I might be able to switch hands. Thanks, Silk. And hi to you as well. As you can see, I'm making a wonderful mess in the short time I have with you. I could put a little bit more of this here. And if I get a splotch of color that I think, oh, that is too much. Then I just go into my white with my white. And you can't really tell here, but rub over an area to make it fade a little bit more. I like these three colors together. Very springy. Oh, hey, would you like to see my finished Kirby picture? Oh boy. I'm not going to be able to show it all at once because I don't want to move my camera again and make y'all sick. So I'll show you the one side in sections. Let me know what you think. I think if I could do anything else, I might make this a little brighter. And here's the rocks. I might darken up the darks in the rocks. But, you know, I had to declare it done at one point because, thanks Yana, thanks Dawn, thanks Audrey. And see how I darkened up the planet. I mean, I could still darken it more and more, but I just had to declare it done, you know. And I did all of those little dots by hand. Dot, 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 dot. I had a little bit of a stencil to help separate some of the things, but I've got different sizes of dots, so it makes it look a little more realistic. So I do really like the planet, how that came out. And then the little fiery back end matches the planet. And I got that idea from Shannon. I suddenly forgot your name. Anyhow, so today I think when I get back, well, I'm not sure if it's going to be cloudy all day. I might not be able to take a picture. Might not be able to take a picture outside. Hey, Connie. I'm not sure I will be home in time to watch your whole stream, but I think I'll be able to watch most of it, or at least the last part. It's so funny how we come into a room and we type as many names as we can to say hello. The first time I saw that, actually I came into a room and everybody said hello to me, and I thought, wow, this is wonderful, everybody's so sweet. And then I realized they did that with everybody. I mean, it's still sweet, but I just thought it was funny that I thought, ooh, they're being so kind to me, right? But it's the way they're kind to everybody, which is good. So it's kind of early for the West Coast people. Have you done anything this early? Just gotten up and got coffee. It's pretty much all I've done this morning. Well, I did teach a class, and he's an excellent student, so it's always nice to have that. I get my real stinker students. Not sure about this part. I might go ahead and put some of that in there. I was actually going to switch to the foreground just because I like doing that. What was I going to use? Turquoise. I'm going to stick that up here. Well, if I could erase the background, I probably would just use one color. But I've already, gone down that road. This one is another flower that I just simply could not get the way I wanted it. And I finally just kind of mixed these three colors together and ended up with that, and then with a little bit of Posca on that. So now I'm just taking a break from the background. I don't know why I like to do it that way, but I just do. Take a break, look at it. See, this is far too dark. So either I'll have to go in there and erase as much as I can. It may not let me do it, or I just leave it. I don't know. I've tried white on the top and it doesn't seem to work. So let me see what happens if I erase it. It's very hard to erase the gel sticks. It's not impossible, but it doesn't look good. So in this case, it's better to start light. What I started out using was pencils. And then that's probably why the background here looks so darker, because so much darker. Because I used pencils to start with. But I'm going to see if I can take off maybe a top layer. Y'all just have to forgive my jumping around. Yeah, see, it's getting kind of weird right there. So I don't know. I might go back over it with some white now that I've pulled some of the color off. But I do like it light. Hi, Bee. Trying to think. Marcy. Hi, Marcy. Yeah, I like these tools also. I bought these many moons ago, a set of 3, for using, what did I use them for? Was it the gel art, the King Art gel pens? Yeah, not pens, crayons, sticks. And I was using them for stencils. And then I saw Shannon using it for just putting on the background, and I thought, ooh, that's cool, I'll try that. So primarily on this on the greens, I used dark green in the grisaille. Which doesn't look like a dark green in Prisma or in Polychromos. So I'm kind of just doing some darker, some heavier pressure here. Probably I went too dark there to be able to tell. Brother, something else lost. This is why I have to constantly organize my desk. There it is. So I'm going to erase some of the green. This is a Tombow Mono Zero. Excuse me. One of the best erasers. I like the little round one the best. I just wanted to erase some things. I like creating contrast on my objects. Now I could go in there and add a little white. I was trying out putting white down first. I forgot what book I was using, but that was interesting. Pre-white it. Okay, now I've got the turquoise, and I just went over the dark spots. I was trying to say spots and points. It was coming out points, or point, yeah. I'm just adding that right on top of that green. And put a little bit around these, I don't know what they're called, little bumps. I like these two colors together. I'm going to put some on the end on the edge. Hope I'm zoomed in enough. I mean, I could lower it again, but that would make some dizziness. I don't want that. I have vertigo sometimes, so I understand. All right, now I'm going to go back over with this green, those same spots that I made dark. Sometimes I don't even know why I do things. I just pick a pencil up. I feel like, oh, I need to have this be this. And then to try to say what I'm doing on camera, I thought, man, I think a lot. So there's the little swirly vine that comes off. And I may still add a little bit more white. Okay, so at this point I like my Prisma white. Just to blend a little more. Now let's finish this little flowers. These are called calyx, I think. When I'm putting several colors on one object, occasionally I will start with the dark first, and sometimes the middle first, and sometimes the lighter first. I don't know what it is that compels me to one or another on any given object, but this one, apparently I started with a light. And then I might just put the light at the top or at the bottom, depending on where I want the light, and then come in and add the dark in the spot that I didn't put the lighter color, if that makes sense. And then sometimes I do it like this. I just put the whole lighter color over the whole thing. Yes. Or it's just right there, like in the book, if I've got the book open and I put it right there. Yeah. I've looked for my glasses before and realized that I had them on my head. Sunglasses, the same way. Anyway, I probably lost my train. Now I'm going to take that turquoise color. Put this in. Sorry about the light, the shadow I'm creating here. I'm just playing around with my lights, and it's just, I just got to figure out the best way to do the lighting situation. I mean, I've got it set up where it's just fine for class, but for live streams, I might need to rethink their places. That is just too true. I'm going to just use the white. And then I'm going to get darker on these spots here in the background. I might come in, I'm not sure I want to do gray. Let's see what happens. This is just, oh, that's green gray. Well, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to use on this dark one. Duh. I'd already planned on that. This also takes out some of the blue. Some turquoise is more blue, some is more green. This was a little bluer, so this green gray is helps it to be darker, but also takes a little bit of that blue out. Listen to me talking like I know what I'm talking about. I just talk about things that I've figured out, at least for myself. You may like to do it differently. So there's that. I'm not real crazy about this purple, but that's what it is. And instead of using sparkle on those, I probably should have, I don't know, used something different. Like left them white and then put Wink of Stella or made them gray or something. I don't know. I think too much, I've been told many times. How about we tackle a flower in the next 15 minutes? Because the bird is just basically using the turquoise in different different pressures. Yeah, look up turquoise butterfly. Well, there's probably butterflies too. Turquoise birds, and you'll see there are actually turquoise birds. So that's kind of what I did on that. I colored the whole thing with the lighter. And then I came in with the same color but darker, or a heavier hand. And then I also went over that, and so it looks like there's 3 different colors or 3 different shades. And of course you can go heavier and get 4 different shades. And then you could come in with a white and dull them down or blend them up, however you want to do it. So that's kind of the bird. I know this is just shortened video, but anyway, all right. So the flower. I really started on the lighter one, but on this one I'm going to try the dark one. And I'm not going to go over the whole flower with this color like I would do the light. And this is just the first layer. It's I'll go back over it with the same colors. I'm just using some of these spots that indicate a shadow. If I had my whole two hours, I probably would finish the background, but I wanted to show you all a little bit of everything. Okay, that was the pomegranate. Pomegranate looks kind of like Tuscan red. Oh, there goes a pencil. Who knows what it is? I've dropped my Prismacolor so many times, I don't know if they're even working. Now, what was I going to do? I was going to tell you what this was. Look like. Looks like a little Tuscan. Tuscan's going to be back in the browns, right? Which would be here. I think I went too far. You went too far. Looks a little bit like, maybe not so much henna. Chestnut. Where's the Tuscan? Anyway, that's what that looks like. And then now I'm going to do the raspberry. And I will start inside where I used the pomegranate, but I'll come out a little bit. Now this flower, I've done it completely different than I did the other one, which that one I started with the lighter color and then just built up around it. But in this one, I'm going to do it this way. The grisaille, they do blend a little bit like a wax, but they're really more layering. Yeah, and that's great that you can go back and layer again with the same pencils. I guess it's, I don't know. In some ways, it seems like it's a mix of the different pencils I have. Like, I think they're softer than the, not softer. Yeah, softer than the polychromos, but not as soft as Prismas, obviously, but they almost remind me like a cross between a polychromo and a Black Widow. I know that's the weirdest combo. All right, now I'm going to use the hot pink, and I think I will go through all of the previous coloring. Just do that. Bye, Dawn. See you later. It won't be too long, and it'll be my time to say goodbye. I've got to throw on some makeup. So it takes me a while to do a flower, the way I'm doing it. So I really love these pencils. But I won't be taking them on a camping trip. Maybe. I might take them on a camping trip. You never know. Might do it. But I won't take them to babysitting because if the young lady I watch wants to color, I'd rather color with a less expensive. One. Kind of like these just to stay home. All right, that's the first layer. It's the first layer. Now, don't think I'm going to go as far. I don't know why. I just vary the pressure. Bless you. I don't know if you can hear my husband, but he's in there on a call. I'm wondering if with these pencils it's better to start off with the light color and then go to the dark color, because when you start with the dark and then you stick a lighter color over it, being that it's more of a layering pencil, you're gonna make that color, that area that you just colored, lighter, and you might not want to make it lighter. I don't know. It's the kind of questions that keep me up at night. I'm just seeing if y'all are awake. I'm just wondering if I put anything else on this. I did add purple. I added so many colors to these that you never know. Oh, the question? The question was, is it better to start with the lighter color and then go down to the darkest color on layering pencils, rather than going from the darker to the lighter? Because if you're layering it up, like if I'm doing this and then coming in with a little bit lighter color and then a much lighter color, you've lightened up that dark so much you almost can't see it because they're not really blending. But if you start out with the lightest color and then you maybe put down the dark one, I mean the raspberry. Did I just do the raspberry? Oh, that's the one. This is the pomegranate. Now I just blended that like that. Then you're still gonna be able to see your dark color. But if you're doing it this way, I'm covering over my dark color. I want the dark color. Yeah, well, yeah, there's no rules, but I'm just thinking of the different ways to to make a gradient. Rather than stacking them on each other. Although you're stacking, well, you're doing this. So it's better to do it this way than to say, do the light, do the dark, and then do the light on top of it. And then do the lightest on top of all that. So then you end up getting just a little bit different of a blend, I guess. I'm just thinking out loud. Yes, and that's why I was doing what I was doing, because I've watched her so many times. Okay, light to dark with your polys. That makes sense, because that way you're not going to lighten up the dark so much. You're going to get that color on the top. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. And I don't have Lumi, so yeah, that's the total reason I was asking. Maybe with a more layering pencil, you want to do light to dark rather than dark to light. Whereas with Prismas, you can do almost anything, because they're going to blend. They're blending beautifully together. You get them all. But even then, I still go back and do a dark on top. Okay, so that's interesting thoughts. Maybe I should do a whole video on that. I've got to go because I need to go get my mom. I need to throw on a little makeup. But thanks for coming in for this short chat. Friday I plan on coming in, I guess at my regular time, 9:30 to 11:30, something like that. Oh, you're welcome. I'm sorry for it to be a short stream, but anyway, I'm glad I was here. I will see y'all later. Have a great day or afternoon and evening wherever you are.